Hey everybody, so this is Charmy Sketches. Long time no see. Hisashiburi. And basically what I'm going to be doing right now is just a quick sort of vlog, I guess. Not really a vlog, but just a quick video that I'm not going to edit, so hopefully I don't say too often for everybody. So basically, I finished up doing the Manga Readathon, and yeah, I'm really excited and really happy that I did this, because I've read so many manga that I would not have normally read. Normally I read about, probably about, like, maybe 2 or 3 manga a week, but this week I actually read 9. And the notebook that I'm showing you right now is actually sort of like my journal, and I just made a quick list here. When I started the readathon, I wanted to keep track of everything, so I decided to list out the treasure hunt stuff, and I ended up finding 6 different treasures in different volumes of manga. I actually noticed here that I listed one of them twice, and like the volume, Eternal Sabbath, because there's a character in here who has tattoos on his back, and I wasn't sure if he was a Yakuza, but the tattoos did look kind of like Yakuza tattoos. But I decided just not to count it, because in volume 1 of Eternal Sabbath, there was also a page that I shared with insects on it. So yeah, I was able to find 6 different things here. And I just want to say that Jen and Laura have done a great job by hosting this marathon. This is an awesome marathon. I was so excited to do this, and I thought that this was really fun. I definitely would look forward to doing this again next year. And as you can see, I read 9 volumes of manga, and I tweeted 66 tweets approximately, and that includes replies to people and other things like that. And as far as the bingo goes, I didn't really fully do the bingo, but I did keep some boxes of the bingo tiles that I wanted to try to do. So basically, I read 3 volumes of a series with Eternal Sabbath. I read a manga where there's a transformation of a character, sort of, Saint Tail, Kaito Saint Oteru, by Tachikawa Megumi. And yeah, so I read this in Japanese. It was really awesome. But I guess I should start from the very beginning. And also, okay, let's just go through these stats first. So basically, female main character, I read Wild Act, and then not manga. I guess that was one of the tiles, but I read a light novel. So let's go through basically everything that I read from the very first day, which started on July 15th. So basically on July 15th, I read the first light novel, First Trinity Blood light novel, and yeah, it was really awesome. It wasn't. Sorry. It's just, I really love Trinity Blood, and I'm always pretty positive about it, but for some reason, this light novel took me a while to get into. Like, it wasn't until, it wasn't even until page 100 that I really got into the story, and that's, like, nearly halfway through, as you can see. It's nearly halfway through. And also, I found the artwork in here to be not as appealing as the manga, and I collect the manga. It's obviously not a complete story or anything like that, but and that's unfortunate. It's because Sunao Yoshida, the creator of Trinity Blood, he passed away, and I forget how long it's been, but it's been a while, and unfortunately he never completed his story. And this is the source material, so on the back here it says the source material for the hit anime, because Trinity Blood was, you know, on Adult Swim and other things like that. So yeah, overall I think that I decided to give this a, I guess, 3 out of 5 stars. Like, I don't really do ratings, but I kind of thought it would be interesting to try to rate each book that I read. So I gave it a 3 out of 5, meaning I enjoyed it, but it wasn't amazing. So yeah. Alright, so the next book that I read is Wild Act by Rie Takada, and I actually previously was thinking about giving this book away or selling it to a secondhand shop or something like that. And I don't know why. I guess it was because, like, I read it, I had read it previously, and I just was not very impressed by the story or the characters or the art. I mean, looking at it now, though, I think the art is very cute. It's definitely cute. I can definitely see why, you know, this mangaka became a manga artist and why her artwork was appealing. But I guess it doesn't really appeal to me as much as other art styles. I mean, I definitely love the squirrel, Kamui. He's awesome. And, I mean, I did find it a little touching near the end. Not to spoil anything, but with the main character and, like, her relationship with her mother and everything that happened there. I thought that was interesting. And another interesting thing is there's actually a printing error in my volume. As you can see, there's Japanese text and then also like the translated English text on top of it, and it's really hard to read. Speaking of which, I don't know why they chose the fonts that they chose for this volume. I really don't. Some of them, it's like they're difficult to read, I guess. Maybe it's just me, but I really don't like the fonts that they chose here. I'm trying to find a good example. Basically like this font, I find kind of annoying to read. And also it kind of blends in too much with the background. I understand that they probably didn't want to, you know, you don't want to cover up the artwork or anything like that. But even just like right here, I find that font kind of annoying and like kind of out of place because it kind of looks like sort of a comedic font to me, and there is a lot of comedy in here, but I just felt like it was distracting because it just kind of distracted me. But I am definitely interested in reading more of this series, but I don't think I'll be adding it to my collection. If I read more of it, it's definitely going to be through my library or something like that. I don't like to read scanlations, specifically if the series was published in English. Even if it's out of print now, which this is, I would prefer to read it physically than looking at my computer. So, yeah. So the next thing I read was Saint Oteru, Kaito Saint Oteru. by, and that's just Saint Tail in English. It says the Phantom Thief Saint Tail, because Kaito means like phantom, ghost, sort of. You could translate it multiple ways, like a lot of Japanese words. But basically, I read this in Japanese just to test myself and see if I could. And I actually have the entire series. This is called a Shinsoban, because it's a re-release, and the volumes, this is like 2 volumes in one, basically. So it's kind of like an omnibus, but it also has extra art. There's a new cover. This is a new cover that Megumi Tachikawa created. And yeah, another thing is that, unfortunately, very similarly to the Fruits Basket re-releases, all of the like little comments in each chapter are removed. So like here, there used to be like little messages from the mangaka answering questions and stuff like that, and they're gone. So that's kind of unfortunate, because I actually was kind of looking forward to that when I bought this set, because I wanted to see if I could read her handwriting and stuff like that. But overall, I was able to understand a lot of this, and I was really excited about it. My studying has definitely paid off, because I can read manga. But seriously, I really love the Japanese language. It is a great language. It's really fascinating to me, and I'm definitely going to keep studying. So this manga has furigana in it, and if you're not sure what furigana is, it's this. It's basically the little text right here next to the kanji. So if you don't know the kanji, you can still read it. And for me, I found this very awesome, because I learned so many new vocabulary words through this manga. And I am definitely going to read the second volume, because like I said, I have it on my shelf, and yeah. And actually, I bought this on eBay, and the seller kept the receipt in here, and it's from a shop called Chesmoy, I guess, and it says here it was 650 yen. So yeah, it's really interesting that the seller kept the receipt in here for this volume. It's very awesome. I would definitely buy from them again. If I can remember the seller that I bought this from, I'll definitely put a link in the description. But in the future, I am going to be probably making a video about tips on buying manga from Japan and from Japanese sellers, and different things to look out for. As you can see, this is a very pristine volume of manga. It looks perfect. There's no yellowing or anything like that. However, just to protect it, I decided to make a book cover. This is not a pre-made book cover. I made this myself, and I'm planning to make a tutorial on how to do this. This one's actually a little bit, it was a little rushed, because I wanted to put it on as soon as possible. But yeah, I will definitely be making a tutorial on how to make these, and as you can see, this side's actually coming up a little bit. But yeah, oh yeah, and this is the original volume cover for volume number 2, I think. So yeah, and this is what the back looks like. It's got Asaka Jr. and Meimi, Saint Oteru. So yeah, and I actually wrote a little short review in Japanese of Saint Oteru, and I'm kind of nervous about reading it, but I will read it. Okay, so basically, oh, okay. Basically, here, I'll just sit this here so you have something to look at while I read this, and hopefully I don't butcher this Japanese. So I wrote, Sentoteru wa totemo kawaii shoujo manga. Tachikawa Megumi sensei no mangaka. これは sorry これはロビンフッドと魔法少女ストーリー好きです. And that's what I wrote. So, as you can tell, my Japanese is pretty much at the level that I guess this manga was aimed at. So basically, like, I guess kind of elementary school, I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I had a blast reading this. I'm definitely interested in reading more Japanese manga, as long as they have furigana in them, at least for now. In the future, I definitely would want to be able to read manga without furigana, because that would mean that I've, like, arrived and I can read even more manga in Japanese that have never been released here, and that would be fantastic. So, okay, so the next thing that I read, and I read a ton of it, literally the rest of this stack is one series. So, basically, I read Eternal Sabbath. I read almost all of it, and wow, this series was the breakout star in this entire readathon. It was awesome. I had a feeling I would like it. I had never really looked up very much about it. I sort of read the synopsis on my anime list, but sometimes I actually don't like doing that either, because sometimes they'll give away way too much in my opinion. But I'm really glad that I bought this series. I bought this on eBay as well, and it was from a seller from the US. And basically, I think I got the entire series for like $40 or something like that. No, it wasn't 40. It was 20. It was something like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's an amazing deal, and also it's out of print. And yes, so basically, Eternal Sabbath is an amazing series, in my opinion. If you like psychological thrillers, check out Eternal Sabbath, if you can find it. And it really sucks that this is out of print. It really does. And it's just... it was just amazing. The characters are so realistic. So realistic that I actually thought that if there was a drama or a movie, and I would prefer a drama over a movie, because there's so much content here that if you were going to make one movie out of this, it would just be too rushed. And basically, I would recommend this manga to anyone who is a mature adult. This is not a kid's manga, for sure. In Japanese, and actually, in every volume they have previews of the next volume. And as you can see here, you can see why I'm saying this is not a kid's manga. But there is no furigana for this kanji right here. So they're assuming that you're an adult reading this, and understandably so, because there's a lot of disturbing stuff in here, but I've never been one of those people that, I guess, turns away from disturbing stuff. it's handled very well here. A lot of the disturbing stuff involving abuse and other things like that, and also, you know, manipulation and things like that. That is a very big part of the story. Like, what is the morality? What is the moral argument for manipulating or not manipulating people, and how do you treat people, and how does how you treat people, how does that show other people who you are? And so yes, I read volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and wow, is this my favorite character ever. Seriously, I am shocked at how much I love this character. Her name is Mine Kyujo, and basically she's very, you could say, socially awkward. You don't really get that from this cover. It's kind of interesting when manga artists do illustrations of their characters in something that they would not wear in the actual story, because so far, she would probably never wear this. Normally she's wearing a lab coat, or something like that, because she's always in the lab. And basically, she's a very intelligent woman, but she's also very caring, and I found that really awesome. And she's not just a, you know, strong female character, meaning she's a man or whatever. She definitely is an honest person. She's honest, and she'll say what she knows needs to be said, even if it's difficult, and even if she thinks people might not want to hear it. And unfortunately, that's one of the things that pushes people away from her, even though she values honesty, and also being good to people, and not treating people as if they are burdens on you or on anyone else. And it's just great because she defends all of her ideals in a calm and rational way. And yeah, so basically she encounters someone who has powers that are scientifically sort of explained, and it's just really, really interesting. It's such a good series. I don't want to spoil this story for anyone. I don't even want to tell you what his powers consist of, but she encounters a person with powers, and you get to see how that unfolds, because, you know, normally she is a very rational person, and very, you know, like, if she's never heard of something that interests her, she doesn't see something new and, you know, attack it or automatically want to destroy it, but she does want to study it because she loves science. She is a scientist, and yeah, so it's fantastic. It's a fantastic series, and definitely check it out, but be warned, there is a lot of serious stuff in here. A lot. Like, this is the first time a manga has made me cry. Specifically, volume 5, I think it was, that made me cry, and I was really, really shocked by it. It was such a good series. So good. And another thing was the translation was amazing. It was by, the translator was Hikoi Hiroe, I think. Wait, oh, you can't see that, sorry. Right there, I guess, whatever. So basically, this translation was perfect in my opinion. I know that some people would say, well, it's annoying that they kept san and kun and all these other things in here, but I didn't mind it, and it's not because I'm a weeaboo. It's because I feel like I can just tune that out if I want to. It's not that distracting, and especially since the writing is so fantastic that it didn't bother me that they kept all of the suffixes in. And another thing that was really awesome was the translator's notes. And as you can see here, there's translator's notes here, and they were very insightful and awesome, and yes. So, alright, so I guess that's everything from the Manga Readathon. Like I said, this was awesome, and actually I'm going to have a sip of tea really quick. It's really good tea. If you're wondering what tea that I'm drinking is, it's Tazao wild sweet orange tea. This is the packet it came in. It's really good, definitely. I drank so much tea and coffee during this readathon. It was awesome. So basically, I guess in closing, I just want to thank Laura and also Jen. Thank you so much for hosting this. It was so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to participating again next year. And I guess now it's like onward into Booktube-a-thon, or whatever it is. Yeah, Booktube-a-thon. So I will be making a sort of TBR video, probably something similar to this. Let me know what you think about like this more chatty style of video. So yeah.